Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Rev on the Road. I'm here with my dear friend Monique, who has these beautiful prayer flags behind her that say breathe, and a unicorn tapestry, if you notice in the background, with fairies. That's very fitting. And so I'm going to ask Monique the 4 questions. So let's begin with the first one. And Monique, what brings you joy in life?
Okay, well, to me, I equate joy with service. And so I'm here in Oroville where it's very easy to apply my talents and skills to the things that I like to serve. So there's 2 areas that I serve. One is pregnant women and families. So I'm a midwife. And I love to take the tact of spiritual midwifery, of looking at how our souls interplay with the whole process. And then the other area I like to serve is working with youth, 18 to 30-year-olds, emerging adults, and looking at what's transformative, what helps youth connect to their higher selves, to their inner core, and both those things just rock my world.
Right. Well, I can tell you're already making a difference here. The second question is, where's your happy place? Where do you go to reconnect and feel this inner sense of well-being?
Well, in the morning, right before opening my eyes, I'm a believer that you need to kind of prime yourself for the day, and so I think certain values. So right away, I'm working with my mind, thinking about oneness, thinking about may all beings be happy, thinking about service, giving of myself, and how we are forgiven. So I'm trying to get those into my subconscious right before my feet hit the ground first thing in the morning. And then I do yoga and meditation. And meditation, it doesn't necessarily mean Vipassana or Jodhaspaza or candle mantra, whatever. To me, it can be those things, and also just simple contemplation, quiet time. Just checking in, like what is it that's going on in my heart, my thoughts, and staying present.
And do you notice the days where you don't do meditation?
Well,
how that's different?
Yeah, and actually, I mean, all of life is all day long is meditation. So,
Yeah.
So if I have to run out the door to a meeting or something first thing in the morning, I'm actually kind of meditating on the bike, or I'm thinking about it as I'm entering the room. I'm thinking about the theater of this life, and how am I showing up as an actor, and am I presenting the best version of myself?
All right, that's beautiful. The third question is, what is your passion in life, and are you living it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, definitely living in Oroville, which is there's 3,000 people from 60 different countries here, and thousands of other people come to visit. Living this small community, aspiring to be the city that the earth needs. It's a city that's focused on human unity, and so being here as a big fish in a small pond, I have a sense that it's possible to make a difference pretty quickly, and that's a lot of fun. It's a fun game. So just applying what I've accumulated over the years as far as talents and experiences, and applying it to this community is just really a lot of fun.
Great. And the last one is, what wisdom do you have to offer the world that you've either heard along the way in your life, or that you've come up with yourself?
First thing that came up was one of those things that I'm thinking about in the morning, which is about A Course in Miracles calls it the atonement, which basically means that you're guilty of nothing. And it's a very interesting concept, since we spend a lot of our times blame, shame, guilt ourselves and others, and it's kind of the habit set for our culture, the one that I come from, North America, to be in that modality. And the teachings that I've been trying to deepen into is that from another plane of existence, from the ultimate or the absolute plane of existence, that kind of thinking process, the mechanism of judgment, and from judgment comes anger, from judgment comes guilt, or from judgment comes shame, all those kinds of things, that somehow thinking that my tiny brain has enough of the full picture to know what to judge. What I'm training for is to understand that I do not know what anything is for. So I don't really understand things at the level that, say, the divine understands things. And so the best tact is to really let go and trust, let go, let God. That essentially the mistakes that we're making, the word sin is Aramaic for a mistake. It's an archery term that means missing the mark. That those mistakes that we make are basically a misinterpretation of who we really are. And so if we really knew that we're a slice of the divine, then we wouldn't be making so many mistakes. And so I try to think about that atonement idea that everything is already forgiven, that there's nothing you could do that would kick you out of the love of God, because God is everywhere and it's everything and it's all love, and it's in your cells, it's in the air you breathe, it's in the little frog over there, it's everywhere. And that the whole name of the game is to stay connected to that love and just kind of forget the other thinking shenanigans of the mind, of the egoic processes.
Right. Well, thank you so much for participating in this with me, and I look forward to discovering more with you here in Oroville.
Thanks, Lisa. Thank you.
Bye.